We are here at Formula One's Temple of Speed, Autodromo Nazionale Monza, for the halfway point of Season 2 of the Formula 2 Championship, as we head on to one-shot qualifying. A very simple racetrack, but incredibly notorious, particularly the Ascari chicane, so easily to spin around at that point, as well as hotspots like Turn 1, Turn 4, and of course a legendary Parabolica to end off a magnificent lap of this place. Here we go, as we start one-shot quali. Bring everything up, there we go. So who's going to take pole here today? Who are we going to watch, I wonder? Schmidt is probably a good choice. As I say that, he has invalidated his lap time from the looks of things. He has. Oh my goodness me. So we've got a few drivers already invalidating. Alrighty then, we'll go on board Hooter Magic. He's purple in Sector 1. Let's see here. Coming into the Lesmos now. Alright, that's the shared links thing. Okie dokie. I can focus on the racing. Hooter Magic coming through the second Lesmo onto the second DRS straight. It appears we've got quite a number. Pete Crichton as well invalidating his lap time. Would explain why he's so far down the leaderboard. Hooter Magic coming through Ascari, a notorious place. Very, very easy to spin there. Coming into the famous Parabolica. What a way to end the lap, this magnificent corner. Widens up on exit, full throttle and up to the line. Who will get pole position here at Italy? And it's Corrupted. Corrupted gets pole position. A 1 minute 30.671, I think. To my knowledge, that is his first pole position of the Formula 2 Championship. Beating Hooter Magic. Controller just died. Of course it did. There we go. So, Corrupted for the first time, I think, in Formula 2. He gets pole position and the 4 points that come along with it. Hooter Magic in P2, Toddster P3. Roscoe Arm in his first ever race in this Formula 2 Championship starts from P4. False Equation P5, Pure Gold P6. A very angry Cypod will be pretty pleased with P7. Berger in P8. Bodhod P9, Blocky Rex P10, James Cruz, Alcatraz in P11 and 12 respectively. Pete Crichton, Schmidt, Garlaz and Lunacy, who's making his debut in Formula 2 after just getting invited to the session. We said, bugger it, let him race. He will start off from the back of the grid as we begin the feature race here at Monza. As we have reached the halfway mark of the season, round 5 out of 10, it's probably best to start talking about the championship for the driver's title. And it's a battle between three gentlemen. At the moment, the driver leading the way is defending champion Toddster 99, currently on 130 points. And it's a massive margin to P2, currently 36 points ahead of Aussie Rizzy Rick, and that's a massive blow for Rizzy because he's not here tonight. He's disappeared from the grid. He will not be racing at Monza. So Toddster's closest challenger is actually the man in 14th place. Schmidt on 92 points, 38 behind the series leader, is the closest man to Toddster and presume the only man who can take the fight up to the defending champion. In 4th place in the standings is actually our pole sitter, Corrupted, and he's on 50 points. 80, yes, 80 points behind Toddster 99. So at the moment, it seems to be Toddster's championship to win here. He would need something very, very wrong to happen here at Monza. As I should. Okay. We'll have a look at who's on what tyres. Corrupted, Hooter Magic and Toddster all electing to start on the medium compound tyre. Roscoe is the first driver on the softs. False Equation and Pure Gold on the mediums. Then Sidepod and Gaming Burger, who's also making his first appearance, on the soft compound tyre. Bodhod on the mediums. Blocky Rex, James Cruz, Alcatraz, Pete Crichton, all of them are on the softs. Schmidt is the last runner on the mediums. Garlaz and Lunacy on the soft compound tyre. This is going to be an incredibly interesting race. Monza, it's a 5.79 kilometre, 11 turn circuit, and it's just filled with legend and just brilliant racing as Lunacy sends it, for whatever reason, into Parabolica. It is the home of Ferrari, it's the home of the Tifosi, and it's Formula One's Temple of Speed. But it's not about Formula One tonight. This is about round 5 of the Formula 2 DRS Championship, as the drivers are now lining up onto the grid, into their respective grid slots. Thank you everyone for watching tonight. I suspect this is going to be one hell of a race and one chaotic lap 1. It's a very long run into turn 1 and a very slow turn 1 at that. It's going to be absolute chaos as we have 5 red lights and it's lights out and away we go here at Monza. Everyone seems to have gotten a relatively good start. Oh, but there's a driver in the background almost losing it. It's James Cruz. Oh my goodness, look at them go side by side into turn 1, and that's False Equation go. Oh, and Corrupted cutting the chicane and getting a 3-second time penalty in the process. And I think someone has spun from the looks of things. It's Bodhod. Bodhod, oh no, after qualifying pretty well, he's now fallen down to 16th place. Now we've got a battle pack, these 3, Alcatraz, Crichton and Blocky Rex, it seems. We'll go back up towards the lead. Oh, someone has spun! Who is that? Oh my god, it's Roscoe! On his first race in Formula 2 has spun around. Oh my goodness me. He drops all the way down to 16th place. We have to... Oh, and another person has spun. It's Garlaz, I think. No, it's not. Who is that? False Equation. Oh my goodness me. And someone going awfully wide? Yeah. James Cruz? Where's that? Second Lesmo. My goodness me. It's all happening at once. Oh my goodness. Look at this train. Just all of these drivers, line astern, weaving all over the circuit to try and break the slipstream. But everyone, massive gains at the front of the field and massive losses towards the back, as you'd expect. As we got a change in position here, Crichton and Alcatraz overtaking him at Parabolica as we now complete lap 1. So Toddster is leading a 1.5 second margin to Hooter Magic. And there's Sidepod. Oh, weaving as Corrupted. 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh my goodness me, Garlaz, what on earth? He completely missed the first chicane. Oh my goodness me. Go back up here as I see Sidepod and Pure Gold side by side through Curva Grande. Coming into the second chicane they go, and Pure Gold slots in behind Sidepod, who's coming off the back of a very poor race in another league at Spain. He was very angry, was sort of an understatement for Sidepod that race, I would imagine. Oh my goodness, has everything settled down now? As you'd expect, a very chaotic lap 1 here. Excuse me, I can't find the words. A very chaotic lap 1 here at Monza. My goodness me. So Alcatraz and Pete battling for P6 as Pete goes awfully wide at Ascari. It is definitely a hot spot, as I believe that is James Cruz who has spun around at Ascari according to the track map. Look at this battle. Oh, and Schmidt's made a mistake! Schmidt has made a mistake! And he's lost 2 positions in the process. And he may have cost him his teammate P5 here. Oh, but it seems that Schmidt has got really good straight line speed with the slipstream. He might have a look down the inside. No, he won't. As Pete locks up and cuts turn 1. Alcatraz will get P5 back into turn 2. But, oh, it gets a big squeeze and Pete saves it. I didn't think he was able to save it after going out onto the gravel. But somehow he has. Holds on to P7. My goodness. Alright. Back to the tyres, I think. My goodness. Oh, did someone just go off at the chicane? There's a puff of dust. As Corrupted going awfully slowly. How about that for the pole sitter? Just look at this. The biggest winner out of the start of the race is Schmidt from 14th up to 6th. Alcatraz made up 7. Pete, Garlaz and Lunacy up 6 places each. And then you look towards the bottom. Roscoe lost 9. False Equation down 10. Corrupted from pole position is 16th. Dead set last as the 2 Arden cars go very wide at Ascari. Oh my goodness me. Okay. Nope, I can't look away from this battle. It's still going on. Oh my goodness me. Pete and Alcatraz side by side once more. As Pete comes into the pits and cops a 5-second time penalty in the process. He must have damage. As False Equation spins at Ascari, explains why he's so far. Rather, he's now behind Corrupted. Okay, everything's settled back down. Let's just have a... Oh, I better have a look at this. We've got... Oh, and there's a driver who spun! Who is that? Bonhod! Oh my goodness me! Coming out of turn 2, just getting on the throttle too early, or may have had a helping hand. Either way, he falls to 12th place. Oh my goodness. Can I get a break, people? Can you stop battling for 5 seconds, please? I need to... I need to talk about the leaders. Okay, no, wait a minute. We got DRS, we got the slipstream. Will Alcatraz have a look down the inside into Ascari? No, he won't. He'll just settle back in behind. Alright, we've got to keep an eye on those guys. Battle for P5 as Pete gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He must have had front wing damage. That's the reason why he pitted so early. As Alcatraz might have a look down the inside. No, he pulls back. So Corrupted in the pit lane as well. Not a very good race for him. As Pure Gold sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 32.6 flat. Alcatraz, he's definitely going to have a look around the outside. If he can hold it around the outside at turn 1, he gets the inside into turn 2. But he can't quite do that, but Sidepod has overshot. Oh, James! Oh my goodness, that is the rarest thing to see. James Cruz has retired from the session, and it's at the notorious Ascari chicane. At the exit of Ascari, he somehow put it into the wall. According to the track map, hopefully we'll get to see the aftermath. Oh my goodness me, that is really on the racing line. Wow. Okay. And no safety car. So safety car is only kind of fixed. It's not completely fixed. It's kind of fixed. Because that car is literally on the middle of the circuit and nothing. Wow. Okay. But this battle continues. Very angry Sidepod and Alcatraz side by side at Ascari. Oh, they don't make... Oh, I take that back. They do make contact. Through Ascari they go. Oh my goodness me. Alcatraz, will he have a crack down the inside into Parabolica? Yes, he will. Todster sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 32.5. And Alcatraz gets the position. But... oh, and he gets DRS as well. As somebody is coming into the pit, it's Blocky Rex. Everyone is speeding coming into the pit lane. My goodness me. That's one thing that catches you out in Formula 2, as this brilliant battle is going on, is the entry speed coming into the pit lane in Formula 2 is severely lower than the pit entry speed in Formula 1. I think it's about 20 k's less. I think. I might be wrong about that, but I do know it's lower, as Pete sets a new fastest lap. Oh my goodness me. Okay, everything is settled back down. Alcatraz has lost a lot of time after running wide at turn 2. Alright, we might be able to give some screen time to the leaders, because why not? Todster is leading the way, 3 seconds ahead of Hooter Magic, who is almost 3 seconds ahead of Pure Gold. As, oh, very angry Sidepod's going to get even more angry with that. Currently now having a 3-second time penalty next to his name. The field is now spread out, as you can see from the mini-map, as someone has spun, I think it's Lunacy, that's caused a yellow through the second chicane, just before Lesmo won. As Sidepod, Alcatraz gets a 5-second, and Garlas gets a 5-second. So yeah, 60 kilometers an hour. I think in Formula 1, it's 80 kilometers an hour. I think. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course. Oh, okay. As Berger's retired from the session, that's on Ascari as well. But you could just see there, Roscoe Arm getting held up in the pits. His crew wasn't ready. Let's see here. We're going to have to go on board Ford false equation, I think. Safety car. Safety car. Okay. Why isn't that coming up on the screen? There's the safety car signs. Right. Fulsa. And it's not a VSC either. You can see that on the flashing lights. It is a proper safety car. False equation coming into the... very gently. He does not want to screw this up. Yeah, it's a safety car. Okay, game. You learnt from your mistake. Go on, gets a 5-second time penalty. You could see it there when we were riding on board with him, cutting the chicane, the second chicane, and getting a 5-second time penalty because of it. So now everybody pouring into the pits. And Bodhod going awfully wide at Ascari. So this has put a massive reset on things with this safety car. Drivers jumping onto the softs. Pure Gold. What's happening? What's happening? Pure Gold. He's not getting serviced. Oh my goodness. Wait, what? He was getting served this. It was just glitched out. Okay then. So P, he will come out in P. What's it going to be? Now will he have to give that position back? I don't know. Locks up into turn 1. Does he have to give that position? Ooh, very sideways. We'll just have to see, what does Pete do? No, he's got the position. Okay then. Yeah, look at that, a full safety car. So James Cruz had a similar incident at exactly the same place as the Gaming Burger. but his doesn't get a safety car, not even a VSC. But Gaming Burgers does. It gets a full-on safety car. Yeah, Codemasters still need to fix a few things, I think. Oh my goodness. Ah, now everything's settled back down. We can reset. A lot of the drivers opting to go onto the soft compound tyre. Well, actually, all of the leaders bar Pete onto the softs. But Sidepod, Alcatraz, Garlaz, Roscoe, Blocky, Lunacy, who's still catching the train. Bodhod's on the softs. False Equation and Corrupted on the mediums. Corrupted comes in. Will he be retiring? Or is he missing? I'm not too sure. Alright, so I'd imagine the safety car will be in this lap. Alrighty. So, if the race continued as normal, pretty sure Toddster would have this in the bag, but now this has happened. I don't know who's going to win this. I mean, look at the top five. You got Toddster, defending champion. You got Hooter Magic, who is the current leader in the Green Championship. You got Schmidt, as Sidepod gets a 3-second time penalty. Okay, he's going to be very fuming, Sidepod now. He's now evolved into... You've got Pete in P4, who is incredibly quick. Incredibly dominant in so many leagues. But he's on the mediums, 5-lap-old mediums. He's not on the ideal tyre. You got Pure Gold. Finished high up in the Green Championship last year. Had several fantastic results. We have this battle. Hooter Magic gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Under safety car, fellas. And it's still going round. You're kidding. So we're going to have a 5-lap shootout. The first two of which won't have DRS. This is going to be close. This is going to be very close. I mean, I don't know, if I was Pete, I would have gambled pitting. I mean, yes, he drops down to 14th. But on those fresh softs, 5 laps to go. Oh, thank you, Phil. We'll do that after the race. Ooh. I mean, he's on those 6-lap-old mediums. He's going to have absolutely no pace. Well, he should have no pace against these guys, but he's got an incredible amount of talent. We'll just have to wait and see. I have got absolutely no idea what's going to happen. When those safety cars lights go out, everybody watching, you better strap yourselves in. Because this is going to be one hell of a ride we're going to see here. I have that feeling. I have that feeling this is going to be one hell of an ending to a race. Safety car lights. Do they come? There we go. Race control. Car in this lap. So Toddster will lead the field coming out of Parabolica. He gets to decide when the field gets to go. When the safety car goes in and the lights go green, we go racing. It's all up to Toddster. Hooter's got 5 seconds over his head. Schmidt doesn't have any penalties. Pete doesn't have... Well, Pete has plenty of penalties, actually. And I think there goes Todster. Full throttle, coming out of Parabolica. Here we go. 5 laps to go. What is going to happen? Oh boy. Who's Magic with the slipstream. And we see Pete. He might have a go down the inside here. Hooter having to go a bit defensive. Wow! Pure Gold just sends it into one. Has to use the escape road. He's going to get a time penalty for that for sure. There we go, 3 seconds. Even though he's actually lost time in position. But Hooter and Schmidt now side by side coming into the second chicane. Turn 4 and 5. And Schmidt gets the position. And even further back. Sidepod has made up a couple of positions. Now up into P4. Pete down into P5. Side by side with Alcatraz. Oh, but Sidepod goes awfully wide. And loses a lot of positions coming into the second Lesmo. Drops down from P4 down to now P9. I hate to think what he's saying right now. He's going to be furious. As Alcatraz seriously overshoots Ascari. Oh, please don't cause an accident. Oh, thank goodness that didn't cause a massive accident. Oh, don't say that too soon. Oh, it's 4 wide coming down the back. Did you see that? 4 wide. Coming down the back straight away. Into Parabolica. Oh, my goodness me. This is absolutely fantastic. As Todster sets the fastest lap, a 1 minute 31.818. Todster might walk away with this. He's out of DRS range. Schmidt now into P2. Hooter Magic P3. Next time they cross the line, DRS will be enabled as Sidepod and Alcatraz. They are... Oh no! Bonhod spun round. He will not finish in the points today. Alcatraz in P9. Blocky Rex and False Equation all over the back of him. Coming into the chicane. And Blocky gets the position. And Alcatraz forced wide. Oh, contact and crash. Oh my goodness me. That's False Equation into the wall. Alcatraz into False Equation with front wing damage. Sure, it looks okay. It does look okay for False Equation. Doesn't appear to be any damage. At least that's one positive he can take out of it. Now Pure Gold seems he's going to try and launch an attack on Pete Crichton. We also have this potential battle for P2 as Todster seems that he's just going to walk away with this, and DRS is now enabled with 3 laps to go. As False Equation gets a 5-second time penalty. My goodness me! Again, coming out of a sky. Fair way down the straight though. Garlaz a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh my goodness me. Blocky goes awfully wide at turn 2. Or Alcatraz and Lunacy fighting for the final point scoring position. Apparently Lunacy is... No, rather... Wait. Oh, it's a lapped car. Sorry. That's a lapped car. I was going to say, why on earth is Alcatraz ghosting so much? But no, that's a lap car. Okay. So Pure Gold has made up a position. Now into P4. Has overtaken Pete. Pete pretty defenseless on those tyres. But now he does have DRS and the slipstream, so he can potentially get the position back. He's just going to lose an awful amount of time as Alcatraz gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So yeah, Pete's going to lose a bit of time coming out of Ascari. Gap is now opened up to almost half a second. As Schmidt sets the fastest lap of the race. I didn't actually get to see what time it was. There you go, 335 kilometers an hour, entering T1. As Garlaz and Roscoe are now fighting for P6. As Blocky Rex gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh my goodness me, a lot of corner cutting going on here. As you might expect at a circuit like this. You have to maximize every single corner here. Oh, as Roscoe has a go down the inside into Lesmo 1. Can he get the job done? I think he will. Can Garlaz get the switch back? No, he won't. Yes, this circuit demands absolute precision with the lack of corners on the circuit. In order to win here, you have to maximize every millimeter of circuit. But this might not be over for Schmidt just yet. The gap has fallen to 1.2 seconds. Hutamagic might be thinking about overtaking Schmidt here too. Oh, maybe not quite close enough, but he does have the slipstream. He has the DRS. Schmidt goes defensive. He's a bit worried about this. He's going to compromise his run into turn 1. No, he'll hold on to the position. So the next potential overtaking spot is turn 4. Can he get it done there? Tolstoy has opened up his gap again up to 1.8 seconds, so he must have made a mistake somewhere. Here we go, Hutamagic and Schmidt. Schmidt goes defensive into 4. Going through 5 now. Schmidt holds on to the position as Alcatraz retires from the session. How on earth have you done that? He must have voluntarily retired, because it looks like he crashed into the outside wall at turn 1, according to the track map. Very odd. I don't think Huta can do anything here. He might have DRS, but the straight isn't quite long enough. Coming into Ascari now. Might have a quick look at this as well. Battle for P4. Here we go. So what can Huta do? He is nowhere near close enough. I think Schmidt will hold on to P2 unless he makes a mistake. But what a superb drive from the defending champion. He will win the feature race here at Monza. Schmidt will take P2. Hutamagic has a 5-second unserved time penalty, so that will drop him? No, it won't. Pure Gold will finish P4 with Pete in P5. Roscoe provisionally P6 and doesn't hold it. It's Sidepod who gets P6 in the end. Blocky Rex P7, Roscoe Arm P8, Lunacy P9, and Garlaz rounds out the points finishes. What a chaotic race, oh my goodness me. Everything happened at once. Alcatraz's engine blew up? It can do that? Okay. I didn't know it could do that. There you go. In only a 50% race. Here, it blew up. Okay. Okay. So, the results for the feature race here at Monza. Todster takes another commanding win with Schmidt in P2, his closest rival. He also gets fastest lap in the 2 points that come along with it, and made up 12 spots in the race. Definitely a driver of the day performance. Hutamagic P3, Pure Gold P4, Pete P5, Sidepod P6, Blocky Rex P7, Roscoe P8, Lunacy P9, and Garlaz rounds out the points finishes. And to think these two are on their debut race and they score points. got punted by Pure on lap 7 and got red damage. Then it just blew up under braking. Well, there you go. I have never ever heard of that before in a multiplayer game where a driver's engine blew up. Okay, so the feature race was chaotic. Now we're at the sprint race. Positions 1 through 8 are reversed from the results of the feature race. And this tends to make the race incredibly chaotic. This is going to be good. So, driver starting on pole position on his debut is Roscoe Blocky Rex P2. A very okay side pod. I think he'll be pretty pleased with P5 in the feature race. He will start P3 in the sprint race. P4, Pure Gold P5, Hootermagic P6, Schmidt P7, Toddster after winning the feature race. Definitely a hot favourite, but he has all the work to do from P8. Lunacy P9, Garlas P10, Alcatraz P11, Bodhod P12 also on his debut. Corrupted, he would be furious with himself after starting on pole. Expect him to cut his way through the field so long as he doesn't make any mistakes. False Equation P14, Gaming Burger also on his debut. P15 and James Cruz, the Super Trooper, will start from P16. As I was saying before, as races go, the sprint race in Formula 2 tend to be incredibly chaotic and dramatic. And we just saw how chaotic and dramatic the feature race was. I think this is going to be an absolute stunner of a race. Drivers, everyone will be on the same tyre, I'd imagine. Yep, everyone on the medium, so it's a no stop. No need for a mandatory pit stop. So we'll just chuck it on to position change for the race. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Drivers now lining up into their respective grid slots. For what is going to be 11 of the fastest, most chaotic laps we have seen in quite some time. Just keep an eye out for all the drivers at turn 1, lap 1. Hopefully there's no incidents. I hope everyone can get through there cleanly. But here we go, 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go here at the sprint race at Monza. And it seems that Roscoe has got a brilliant start and is pulling away from the pack behind. Pete moves himself up into P2. We've got a lot of drivers going side by side. Look at this. Look at the car control from these guys. No one has spun. No one has made any sort of contact. And we all get through turns 1 and 2. Absolutely fine. That is absolutely brilliant to see. So Roscoe leads the way. Pete weaving to get his tyres nice and hot and up to temperature. And someone has lost it coming through Curva Grande. It's Lunacy. Doesn't appear to be any damage though. And everyone... Ooh, Bodhog going awfully wide coming out of the chicane. We've got Sector 2 yellows. I don't think we need to worry too much about that. Alright, so Roscoe leads the way with Krypton in P2. Very angry Sidepod remaining in P3 and has a 1 second margin to Schmidt, who's going to be overtaken by Hootermagic around the outside. Or not quite. Schmidt dive bombs into Ascari, goes a bit wide, compromises his line slightly over the curbs. Oh my goodness me. I was thinking Schmidt was going to spin then, as James, I believe, spins at Ascari. Once you touch those inside curb, at turn 10, it's pretty much an insta-spin. Unless you position it just right. If you position it just right, or basically use all of the curb, you are going to spin. Pete, he's going to have a look around the outside. No way is he going to pull this off. Oh my... Okay, it's lagging a little... Around the outside! What a... Turn 1. Having the inside into turn 2, he gets a position. People jumping around a little bit, but it seems to have resolved itself. So side pod has lost a position to Schmidt, who's going to lose another position. Oh my goodness me, to Hooter Magic, as they ghost a little bit, and Bjorgold's going to have some of this as well, and Todster, as side pod goes awfully wide and falls down to P8. A lap ago, at this exact spot, he was P3. He has fallen 5 positions in the space of a lap. Just shows you how brutal this sport it really is. As we pod and Blocky Rex, a Kiwi going side by side through Ascari. Now Corrupted's going to get involved in this as well. He has made up the most places out of all the drivers in the field. Started P13, now up into P8. As Blocky goes down the inside into Parabolica. No way can he pull this off. He does pull it off. He's made up 2 positions through Parabolica. A superb move as DRS is now enabled. Oh, I can't look away from this battle. It is 3, 4 wide. Oh my goodness me, into turn 1. Oh my goodness, iPod into the wall. Oh my goodness, that is a massive accident. Sidepod, how is your car still running? You can have the slightest tap with another driver, and that will break your suspension. But you can full on slam it into a wall here at Monza, the fastest circuit in Formula 1. And what do you get? Front end plate damage. That's it. This game makes literally no sense. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Oh, I hope that this isn't as bad for the drivers on the circuit with the cars jumping around as much as they are. I hope that's just me. Oh, look at this. Battle for P5. Rather, P4 actually. Fjorgold, Hooter Magic and Todster 99 battling for P4. Just in behind them, the very angry side pod, who is definitely going to be extremely very angry. I think that's probably the best way of describing it. As we got Sector 3 yellows, it's Bodhod who has crashed at, guess what, Ascari. Pretty much everyone has crashed at Ascari. Oh my goodness me, look at that car. Front wheel on top of the front wing. As Pete is pulling a massive lead now over Roscoe. It's only the 4th lap, but he's already pulled out a 3-second margin. Schmidt in P3 is now closing on Roscoe. And with DRS enabled, oh no! He runs wide, coming through turn 5. Dear oh dear, he's lost about 2 seconds because of that 1.5 more like. Just in that small mistake alone. Sector 2, yeah, it's Sidepod! That's at the first Lesmo. That is an almighty crash. Got to see glimpses of it there. Oh, Sidepod's going to be the very pissed off retired Sidepod now. Oh, I'd hate to be listening to his reaction to that. That's so upsetting to see. After coming off some really bad races, see him finish outside of the points. At least he scored some points in the feature race. He can take that with him. But that is very, very sad to see. But at least, for the sake of the stream, we've got some very good battles continuing. to occur. We've got one between Pure Gold, Toddster, and Hooter Magic's fallen away a bit. Oh my goodness me, that's False Equation cutting turn 2 massively. Now side by side with Alcatraz through Curva Grande. Ooh, side by side still. Alcatraz will look towards Alcatraz had to cut the chicane. Garles is going to bring himself into this. And he... Oh, that's a car spinning! It's Gaming Burger! Where is that? That's turn 5. Another quite easy place to spin. We'll have a look at this battle for the final point scoring position. Blocky Rex and Corrupted. Corrupted still charging his way up the field. He's made up 6 places. From 13th up to 7th. And he's got this train of 3 behind Alcatraz, Garlas and False Equation. This isn't even for points. And they're battling this hard. It's fantastic to see. As they come through Parabolica. Might have to go back up to the leaders, but I don't want to look away from this. They're side by side. Is this going to be another 3-way? Surely not. Oh my goodness me, I think it is. Oh, not quite. Oh, will Alcatraz send it up the middle? No, he won't. And look at that, False Equation, 2 in 1. Oh, not quite. Garlas gets a superb exit. And so does Alcatraz. Alcatraz might have a look. No, he won't. He will slot back in behind. Okay. I've got to ignore that for a sec. As Gaming Burger crashes... No, retires in the pit lane. Retires in the pit lane. Very smart decision. But it can still bring out a safety car. And it hasn't, thank goodness. So Roscoe Arm and Schmidt just exchanging positions. The pole sitter falls down to P3. And Pure Gold and Toddster might get involved for this. So this battle for P2 might turn into a 4-way fight. I think it is. All of these guys are within a second of each other. Down the back straightaway they go. Coming into Parabolica. When they cross the line, it'll be 5 laps to go. And we have got a 4-way fight for P2. This is going to be epic. I mean, we got Schmidt, Roscoe on, who's on his debut, who wants to impress. Pure Gold, a proven winner. And Toddster 99, the defending Formula 2 champion. All going to battle for P2. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is going to be good. Roscoe Arm having to defend from Pure Gold, but can't really do anything. Without DRS on this circuit, you are basically a sitting duck. And he falls down into P4 and into the clutches of the quick Kiwi. And just in behind them, we've also got a battle as James Cruz has an incident at Ascari. He definitely spun, but he hasn't retired. That's a key thing. It's a rare thing to see James retire. He's not the quickest, but the damn dude never gives up. It's great to see. But Schmidt appears to have pace. He's now pulling away from Pure Gold in P3. Does Pure Gold have DRS? No, he doesn't. So he's going to be very vulnerable to both Roscoe Arm and Toddster coming into Ascari. But it seems Pure Gold got a superb exit out of the second Lesmo. And is still... Oh! And gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Coming out of Ascari onto the back straightaway. Into Parabolica once more. But look at the leader pull away. Gap almost 6 seconds. Pete just putting on a masterful driving display at the moment. We can't ignore these 4. Oh, and that is James Cruz. Oh my goodness me. He just came out sideways onto the circuit. Oh my goodness me. Thank goodness these cars are ghosted. Oh, that could have been an almighty accident. Oh, he just lights it up coming out of the pit lane. Onto the circuit he goes. remember, people of the stream, he is using absolutely no assist at all. And he's still soldiering on. He is never giving up. He never ever gives up. He might be in 13th, he might not score points, but he's going to finish. He encapsulates the very spirit of racing. Just finishing is enough for him. That's enough fun for him. Scoring points is just a bonus. As Toddster has a look down the inside into Parabolica. Can he get the job done? He does have the inside line, but with the outside line you can get better drive. As James spins once more coming out of Ascari. But he doesn't crash the car. He's still going. Toddster now takes Roscoe. He moves himself up into P4. It seems that Schmidt does have very good car speed. Gap has opened up to 1.3 seconds as James gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It doesn't matter, he's still going. Through the chicane they go. Toddster, he's now fallen away from Pure Gold. Unless he can gather back a couple of tenths. He's out of DRS range as well. I think he is. Yes, he is. Ah, there's a very angry Cypod. Left the session. It was a fairly good feature race, but then in the sprint race, it's very unfortunate for him. Hopefully he will have a... Ooh. Sector 1 yellows. It's James Cruz once again. Crossing the pit lane exit. Don't tell me he did exactly the same thing. Dear oh dear. This battle for P4 isn't over quite just yet. As Schmidt sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 31.602. So clearly he has very good car speed. As James gets another penalty, 3 seconds for corner cutting. Hopefully he won't get DQ'd because of the amount of penalties he's accumulating. Hopefully not. I want to see him cross the finish line. Right. What can Roscoe do? He's still within that half a second margin of Toddster. Will he wait? Or will he take any opportunity thrown at him? Both drivers get a fairly good run coming out of the second Lesmo. Down this long straightaway. Underneath the oval. Into Ascari. Roscoe has gained 2 tenths out of that. Both drivers a bit cautious coming through turn 10. Now coming into Parabolica as Pete crosses the start-finish line to start the last lap of the race and sets the fastest lap in the process of 1 minute 31.429. But here we go, last lap. As Lunacy gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Toddster will go defensive into 1. Will Roscoe have a look around the outside? No, he won't. Does Toddster go deep? No, he parks the car on the apex. Very good driving. Making sure he doesn't give Roscoe any opportunity. As James gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, I imagine he is incredibly close. Oh! Alcatraz! What the? That looks exactly the same. Look! It's just sitting there. Don't tell me it happened again. That looks like exactly the same spot. I bet you that's exactly what happened to Alcatraz. As someone has spun. It appeared to be, anyway. So I think this battle for P4 seems to have concluded. I think Todster's got this. I'll go back up to the race leader. It has been a very commanding drive from Pete. You expect nothing less from him. He will cross the line in first place and wins the sprint race here at Monza. And this will be a good day for Schmidt as well, getting points over Todster. Try and recover a few. Oh, and Todster moves himself up into P3 because of penalties. Pure Gold drops down to P4 and Roscoe P5. Hooter Magic P6. Corrupted P7. Yes, and Blocky P8 to round out the point scorers. Oh, here we go. Drag race up into the line. Who's going to get it? It's Garlas who gets it, but I think that's because of time penalties. Alright. And of course, Lunacy, on his debut, will finish 11th. 3 places outside the points, but this is the guy we've got to look out for. He is still going. The Super Trooper is still going. All he has to do now is cross the finish line. Can he do that? Coming through Ascari. He has spun here a couple of times. Just got to be gentle again. Oh, would Sidepod like an invite? I just might do that. Alcatraz is left to say, come on, James! He's done it! He's crossed the finish line! In P12, there's no points, but still. He made it! He made it! Thank goodness for that. Alright, I might invite Sidepod onto here. If he wants to have an invite, I'll bring him on. I might, if Alcatraz is still here, I would like to know what on earth happened. But first, we have to get the results, of course. So, Pete wins the race and gets fastest lap in the process. 17 points to his name. Schmidt P2, Todster P3, Pure Gold P4, Roscoe Arm on his debut P5, Hooter Magic P6. A superb recovery from Corrupted. P13 up to P7. And Blocky Rex rounds out the point scorers in P8. Wow. What a superb set of races. Alright, I'll bring Alcatraz on. Alright, you're not going to hear me for a little bit because the audio switches off when I go into blue screen. But hopefully, when I come back on, we'll have Alcatraz and maybe Sidepod. They can talk to us. Alright, so, once they come on, we'll start talking about what happened to those two, particularly. Very much Alcatraz. I have never heard of a driver getting an engine. Okay, so, Alcatraz, for our first ever post-race interview, I'd like to talk to you first. One simple question. What the fuck happened to you?
Not once, but twice!
Twice! In the same spot!
In the exact same braking zone, on the exact same side of the track.
How? How the fuck does that happen?
It's, in the first one, I got punted quite hard from Pure Gold in, like, lap 7, and then I got told, like, I checked to see what my tyres were at, I noticed at the back the engine was red, and I stayed out of the slipstream to cool it down, but it was still red. I was like, oh, okay, I can't manage the fuel, so maybe it's just a visual thing. Next thing I know, under braking, just blows. big noise, just engine blows. I'm like, oh, okay. Got really mad. We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
But then I thought, oh, I'll get the new engine in. It'll be fine. I get punted by Garlaz, and it didn't even survive 11 laps. Blew up in the exact same spot.
Wow.
And the engine was green that time as well. Green. Couldn't even tell you.
And it just blew.
Just went.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Yeah,
got the
because
toddy
I've
first,
never
so the
ever
gearbox is the
seen
engine.
that before, where an engine just blows up. I mean, this isn't iRacing. I mean, this is F1 2019, and I've never ever seen that before. That's incredible.
Guess it's more of a Steam game than what we thought.
Yeah. Okay. Very angry Sidepod, who I imagine was very pissed off. Sidepod.
Oh, that's an understatement.
Okay, well, let's talk through the feature race, because that ended up being pretty good for you in the end.
It wasn't bad,
P5,
man.
it was pretty solid.
It was pretty good. And then the second race, I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Schmidt dive bombed me in on the second lap. Broke my front wing because he missed his braking point. So then that just dropped me back further. And then that's when I met Corrupted.
Oh.
Down the front straight. And Alcatraz had a perfect view of it behind. I've looked on the replay, but the replay,
It was
hard
four
to-
wide.
yeah, it was four wide.
Yeah.
The replay looks strange.
Corrupt just snapped to the right, and Side just went flying into the wall.
So he did snap to right, because on the
Oh,
replay,
yes,
I couldn't tell whether it looks like I turn into him, but it also looks like he turns into me. But I
It
wasn't
literally looks
pressing
like you
any
both.
input.
It looks like, because it was four wide. There's not a lot of room on that straight, but it literally looked like you both were setting up on the line, and you both just copped the worst of it because just because of the force to the right, it looked like Corrupt just snapped harder than you.
Well, his front tyre, his rear tyre his rear right hit my front left because I obviously broke a little bit early, and that just sent me straight into the wall. And then 2 laps later, we went through the 2 right-handers, and just after the second chicane, and he just turned on me and just put me into the wall, and that ended my race.
Oh, so you
that
were
was fun.
assisted. You were
I was
assisted
Corrupted again. I was like, I missed this SAB, Jesus bloody Christ.
Yeah.
But that's fun. I was looking forward to that race.
I was going to get points in both races, man.
Oh, same. It was going to be great. It would have been my first point scoring position in both races in F2, but yeah.
So your engines didn't blow out, but yeah.
Yeah, oh, well, my brain did.
Oh.
I'm switching back to Team Carden, man. I can't stay with that team. I need false on my team. Even though I'm battling him. I need false back on my team. I might get less punts. Who knows?
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me and just explaining to everyone watching what happened in both races. I feel very, very sorry for both of you. Both of you were in very good positions, and just for unforeseen and unfortunate circumstances, you ended up not getting probably what you deserve. But thank you anyway for joining me tonight.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, no
Good
problem.
comms as usual. I was listening to it as we were racing.
Well, thank you very
That
much.
4-wide call down the straight was amazing.
Oh, I was so shocked. I didn't see that coming at all. That was something else for sure.
Yeah, I didn't like it because I was in the middle, and it just ended badly. But yeah, was lucky not to take out anyone else.
But anyway, another set of dramatic, chaotic races in Formula 2. By God, doesn't this series just deliver. It is just absolutely fantastic. Thank you everyone so much for watching the stream tonight. If you've liked what you've seen, please do hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with any new content coming out of DRS. But until Sunday night, where we thank you all so much for watching, and good night.